My name is Christine Bowditch and I'm Chair of Cumbria County Council. And after the last few months when we've all had such a terrible time, it gives me great pleasure to be here at the Penrith Road Flood Alleviation Project completion. And this scheme is going to make the most tremendous difference to so many people in Keswick. 118 families are no longer going to be waking up when it's raining, wondering if their homes and their businesses are safe. And I'm delighted to be back in Keswick. Keswick is a centre for so many tourists, and this scheme will enable people who live here, who are affected by floods, to continue with their business, to welcome visitors back to Cumbria, which is what we want.
So the Environment Agency built our river flood defences back in 2012, and we were aware from the very beginning after the 2005 floods that we had problems with surface water which was trapped behind the river defences. Cumbria County Council were fantastic in putting in their first pump system down in Elliot Park. That was completed back in 2015. So this has been eagerly awaited, and it's actually a huge project which is far greater than we expected.
It's a £2.5 million scheme. It's been going now for 2 or 3 years since the flooding. Funding provided through Cumbria County Council, North West Regional Flood Committee, KFAG. The purpose of this area will be to contain the water, to stop it getting down into Keswick as quickly as it has been, and therefore overwhelming Penrith Road area. The new pumping station down on Penrith Road will be able to cope with that amount of water, and then under pressure put it into the river, and therefore providing the capacity that we need in the scheme.
Well, what this scheme means for the people of Keswick, there's 100 homes behind me now, that every time this river gets a bit busy, they get really worried. And they've had good reason to be worried from 05, 09 and the big one, 2015, when Desmond came to call. Instead of us going to see the river comes to see you. And the destruction is both physical and mental. It's very, very serious. And now with this scheme, that should be a thing of the past for most of the time. No scheme can overcome flooding 100% of the time. This does a very good job, or we hope will do a very good job for most of the time. Regular updates with the County Council, had regular meetings with the guys, the drop-in centres. Everybody knew what was going on. They may not have enjoyed it, but they got on with it.
I know there's been a lot of disruption, especially to the traffic on Penrith Road, and I thank the people of Keswick for putting up with that, which has been difficult and trying at times. But in the long run, I think this is going to be massively beneficial. Nobody wants to see their property flooded, nobody wants to have to move, nobody wants to see all their possessions ruined, and everybody wants to stop flooding in Keswick for the future. I also think the B&Bs and the businesses in the back streets and on Penrith Road will be helped by this. The last thing that any of these B&Bs need right now is more disruption from flooding, having had COVID and the closure of the road. Working at the Town Council, the County Council and KFAG has been absolutely brilliant, and the Environment Agency has been absolutely brilliant. And I think this joint approach has produced what we have now, a pumping station and a flood attenuation lake on Springs Road that will hopefully do the job and massively alleviate the amount of flooding that takes place in Keswick.
I'd like to thank the KFAG, which is the Keswick Flood Action Group, for their support of this and for their continued support of us working with Keswick. An important town, and we need to do as much as we can to prevent the flooding in future years.
I've worked with Cumbria County Council for very many years on this, and I am so grateful to them for everything that they've done. It's a fantastic project, far in excess of anything that we dared hope for at the very beginning. And we've had an awful lot of meetings, and it's taken a long time, but these things always do. So we really are pleased that this has come into being, and the small contribution that we've been allowed to make to it is nothing compared to what the County Council have done.
Another 6-year programme with over 30 schemes. Again, funding is being sourced, and Cumbria County Council will continue to work with its communities to try and prevent the flooding that's taking place.